Before the first heartbeat, before the first breath, before the first thought, there was water. Water is the oldest living memory in the universe. It was born in the fires of dying stars. It travelled billions of miles through the cold of space, carried on the backs of comets and asteroids, before it finally arrived here, on this blue world, and made life possible. And right now, at this very moment, that same ancient water is flowing through your veins, powering your cells, and carrying the electrical signals that make you think, feel, and breathe. Water is not just something you drink. Water is what you are. And the story of water, where it came from, what it can do, and what we are doing to it, is the most important story of our time. To truly understand water, we have to go back, not just to the beginning of life on Earth, but to the very beginning of the universe itself. Hydrogen, the simplest and most abundant element in existence, was created in the first moments after the Big Bang, nearly 14 billion years ago. Oxygen was forged billions of years later in the nuclear furnaces at the hearts of massive stars. When those stars exploded in supernovas, they scattered oxygen across the cosmos. And when hydrogen and oxygen find each other in the cold of interstellar space, they bonded, and water was born. Scientists now believe that the first water on Earth arrived between 100 million and 200 million years after the Big Bang, carried here by icy comets and asteroids that bombarded our young planet over billions of years. The water you drink today has been on a journey that spans the entire history of the cosmos. And here is one of the most profound facts in all of science. The surface of our planet is approximately 70% water. And the human body, your body, is also approximately 70% water by volume. But go deeper. Look at the molecular level. For every 100,000 molecules in your body, 99,900 of them are water molecules. You are not a person who contains water. You are a water being who also contains some other stuff. This is not a coincidence. It is a reflection of the deep, unbreakable bond between life and water, a bond that stretches back to the birth of the universe itself. In school, we are taught that water has 3 phases: solid, liquid, and gas. Ice, water, and steam. Simple enough, right? But what if there is a 4th phase, one that your textbooks never mentioned, and it may be the most important phase of all? Dr. Gerald Pollack, a professor of bioengineering at the University of Washington, discovered this 4th phase of water and called it the exclusion zone, or EZ water. Scientists also call it H3O2 because its molecular formula is slightly different from ordinary water, which is H2O. Here is the difference in plain terms. Ordinary water, the kind in your tap, your plastic bottle, or a stagnant pool, is what scientists call bulk water. The molecules are loosely connected, chaotic, and disorganized. They don't hold much energy and they don't hydrate your cells very efficiently. EZ water, or H3O2, is completely different. When water comes into contact with a biological surface, like the inside of your cell membranes or the proteins in your muscles, it reorganizes itself into a highly ordered crystalline structure. Think of it like the difference between a disorganized mob and a perfectly choreographed dance. This structured water carries a negative electrical charge. It acts like a battery. It stores energy from sunlight and infrared radiation from the Earth. And it uses that energy to power everything your cells do, such as absorbing nutrients, flushing out toxins, generating electrical signals, and keeping you alive. Think about that. The water inside your healthy cells is not just a passive liquid. It is an active, charged, crystalline energy system. When your body has plenty of this structured H3O2 water, you have high energy, clear thinking, strong immunity, and deep cellular health. But when your water loses its structure, when it becomes chaotic, uncharged, and disorganized, everything begins to break down. Here is what is remarkable. Thousands of years before modern science had the tools to measure any of this, ancient civilizations around the world already knew that water was sacred, alive, and intelligent. In ancient Egypt, the Nile was not just a river, it was a god, the source of all life, fertility, and civilization. In Vedic tradition, water was called apas, the primordial element from which all creation emerged. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Thales declared that water was the fundamental substance of all reality. Indigenous cultures on every continent held water ceremonies, sang water songs, and treated rivers and springs as living beings worthy of reverence and protection. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, an Austrian naturalist named Victor Schauberger spent decades studying water in its natural state. He watched how water moved in rivers and streams, always in spiraling vortex patterns. He observed that water flowing naturally downhill in cool, shaded streams was teeming with life and vitality, while water that was straightened into canals, exposed to heat, and forced through pipes became dead and lifeless. Schauberger called natural, spiraling, living water the lifeblood of the earth. He warned that when we destroy the natural movement of water, we destroy the life force of the entire ecosystem. He was dismissed by the scientific establishment of his day. Today, quantum water science is proving he was right all along. In the 1990s, Japanese researcher Dr. Masaru Emoto conducted experiments that stunned the world. He exposed water to different words, emotions, and music, then froze it and photographed the crystals. Water exposed to words like love and gratitude formed breathtaking, symmetrical crystals. Water exposed to hatred and chaos formed broken, ugly, distorted shapes. While the scientific debate around Emoto's methodology continues, his work pointed to something profound. Water is extraordinarily sensitive to the energy around it. It responds to frequency, vibration, and intention. And if that is true of water in a jar, imagine what it means for the water inside your body, the water that is constantly being exposed to the frequencies of your thoughts, your emotions, and your environment. For billions of years, the water on Earth and the water in all living things was only exposed to natural electromagnetic frequencies. The gentle pulse of the Earth's magnetic field, the rhythmic light of the sun, the gravitational choreography of the moon and stars. Water was perfectly tuned to these cosmic signals, and it used them to orchestrate all of life. Then, in the span of just a few decades, everything changed. Today, we are bathed in an unprecedented ocean of man-made electromagnetic radiation, from Wi-Fi routers, cell phones, Bluetooth devices, smart meters, 5G towers, and even satellites orbiting in space. We have created a world where there is virtually no place on Earth that is free from artificial electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. And here is the critical question that most people never ask. What is all of this doing to the water inside our bodies? The answer is deeply troubling. Water-rich tissues like the brain, the heart, the liver, and every organ in your body are highly efficient at absorbing microwave radiation. This is the same principle that makes a microwave oven work. A microwave oven heats food by vibrating the water molecules inside it. When you are surrounded by Wi-Fi and cell phone radiation, which operates on similar microwave frequencies, the water molecules in your body are being agitated in a similar way. This agitation breaks down the hydrogen bonds that hold structured water together. The crystalline H3O2 lattice inside your cells collapses into chaotic, uncharged bulk water. And when that happens, everything suffers. Your cell membranes are like intelligent gates. They use electrical charge to decide what comes in and what goes out. When the water inside your cells loses its charge, its voltage, the cell membrane can no longer function properly. The gates stop working. Nutrients can't get in. Toxins can't get out. Scientists measure this using a test called bioelectrical impedance phase angle analysis. It measures how well electrical charge moves across your cell membranes, and it is a direct measurement of your cellular hydration. The lower your phase angle, the lower your cellular voltage, and the lower your true hydration. And research is showing that chronic exposure to non-native EMFs is measurably lowering this phase angle in people all over the world. This is the cruel paradox of modern dehydration. You could be drinking water all day long and still be profoundly dehydrated at the cellular level, because the EMFs around you are preventing your cells from absorbing it. And it goes even deeper. One of water's most extraordinary roles in the body is to act as a mediator of light. Sunlight, infrared light, and other natural frequencies of light trigger biological processes in your body, your circadian rhythms, your hormone cycles, your immune responses, but only through the phase changes of water inside your cells. When your water is structured and coherent, it can receive, encode, and transmit light information throughout your body at speeds that defy our conventional understanding of physics. But when your water is chaotic and incoherent, when it has been disrupted by EMFs, it can no longer perform this function. Your body loses its ability to properly process light. Your circadian rhythm falls apart. Your hormones become deregulated. Your immune system weakens. Your mental clarity fades. This is why so many people in the modern world feel perpetually tired, foggy, anxious, and disconnected, even when they are doing everything right. The invisible electromagnetic environment we have created is quietly disrupting the most fundamental biological process in the human body, the ability of water to do its job. And it is not just affecting people, it is affecting every living thing on Earth. Plants, animals, rivers, forests, and entire ecosystems share the same watery bloodstream as we do. When the electromagnetic environment becomes saturated with artificial noise, the water in rivers loses its ability to carry natural cosmic information. The microbiome of the soil is disrupted. The migration patterns of birds and whales, guided by the Earth's electromagnetic field, are thrown into confusion. The web of life, woven together by water, begins to unravel. The EMF crisis is not the only threat to our water. Even before water reaches your lips, it has already been through a gauntlet of industrial processing that strips it of its natural vitality. Natural spring water, flowing through the earth, picks up minerals, gains a natural vortex structure, and becomes charged with the electromagnetic information of the land it travels through. Victor Schauberger called this mature water, water that has completed its natural cycle and is ready to give life. But the water that comes out of most modern taps has been treated with chlorine to kill bacteria, fluoride to prevent tooth decay, and a cocktail of other chemicals. It has been forced through straight, pressurized pipes at high speed, the exact opposite of the natural, spiraling, vortex flow that gives water its structure and vitality. By the time it reaches you, it is chemically treated, structurally dead, and electromagnetically chaotic. And then we store it in plastic bottles, where it absorbs microplastics and chemical compounds, and we drink it while sitting next to our Wi-Fi routers and cell phones, ensuring that whatever structure the water might have had is further disrupted before it even reaches our cells. We have taken the most vital substance in the universe and turned it into a hollow shell of itself, and we wonder why we are sick. Here is what we know. Water is not just a resource. It is the foundation of all life on Earth. It is the medium through which the universe communicates with living beings. It is the electrical system that powers every cell in your body. And it is the most sensitive, responsive, and intelligent substance we have ever encountered. For thousands of years, ancient cultures understood this. They protected their water. They honored it. They worked with its natural flow rather than against it, and they were rewarded with a vitality and a connection to the living world that most modern people have never experienced. We have inherited a crisis. The water we drink is stripped of its structure. The water in our bodies is under constant electromagnetic assault, and the water in our rivers, our soils, and our atmosphere is being disrupted on a global scale. But here is the truth that gives us hope. Water wants to heal. Given the right conditions, natural movement, clean minerals, protection from artificial frequencies, and exposure to sunlight and the Earth's natural field, water restructures itself. It rebuilds its crystalline lattice. It recharges its battery. And it goes back to doing what it has done for billions of years, sustaining life. The first step is understanding the problem, and now you do. The water inside you is not just a liquid, it is a living, structured, electrically charged system that connects you to every other living thing on this planet and to the cosmos itself. When you protect that water, when you nourish it with the right kind of H3O2 structured water, when you reduce the electromagnetic chaos around you, you are not just improving your health, you are participating in the healing of life itself. Water came from the stars. It built this world. It built you. And it is waiting, patiently, powerfully, for us to remember what it truly is.